Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 27, Week 4. Of course, about halfway through the campaign. And of course, we are now in March with the 9.1 patch around the corner. Could be basically any Tuesday this month. Which Tuesday? We have no clue, but sometime somewhat soon we should be getting Astral Spires coming into the game. And whenever it does, of course, we'll be going over it quite extensively. But until then, we have a pretty tame month, other than the Legends Reborn thing that's coming up. I don't believe the Legends Reborn thing can happen unless the patch is already out. So there's a good chance that, you know, if it does have to be later this month, that the Legends Reborn might end up getting delayed some. But otherwise, yeah, whatever the schedule says should pretty much be what we have then. With the most likely time being either tomorrow or next week's Tuesday being the patch. And the week after that being the Legend Reborn. Otherwise, the Legend Reborn is likely to be later in the month. And beyond that, there's pretty much only two things really going on this month, aside from the standard stuff. But of course, good old Vault Event weekend this weekend. So we'll go grind that out when it comes around. Anyways, hello Tyrion. Hello Chris. Hello Jets. Hello Ron. Hello hello everyone else. Welcome. So as far as today's goals are concerned, we have ourselves the Night Invasions. Given that it is invasions, you know, we have some pretty easy things to go use. We have the really good Enrage guy. You have the guy that you have to use, which is not like particularly good, but you know, you have to use him for double score. Does have double magic at least. We can feed immediately into it by using purple, and of course using Wand of Stars to main accumulate beyond that. So pretty straightforward event week. As far as the really early battles though, of course, we might want to consider running something that can instantly kill. I want to double check what we have in that category. What do they? Isn't there another Empower, or are they both purple? Yeah, they're both purple. Do I have to run a hero weapon? That's kind of unfortunate. Do we have to run a hero weapon that hits all enemies? This would actually be a really good instance where the new Evil Dragon weapon would actually be pretty good. Because I don't believe we have a good purple knight that hits all enemies. Which means you have to use a purple weapon. And because we have to use a purple weapon, our best bet would actually be... like if we go into here, if we hit all enemies, the best weapon for this would be not that, but send Summers in here. Did I click unknown? Show all. It should be there. The Sinister Reaper. We don't have this yet. We are on the final upgrade. I have been buying the Dragonites, but we are only halfway there. If we go check our resources right now. Summers in here is Dragonite. I am sitting at 541, technically 600 because I could just buy the daily today. So we are halfway to the Dragonite we need. We still need another 600, so still going to need another 10 sets of those. So in about 2 weeks from now, unless we get lucky from this Vault Event weekend, in which case next week, we should have ourselves the Sinister Blade. Unfortunately, it is really good for this current event week, for these really low level range. But worst comes to worst, you know, we'll use Black Manacle. It's not that big a deal. Let me go use both Empower since we are going in all in purple team here. That will give us both alignments for yellow to purple and blue to purple. And yeah, we should be good to go. I guess for the really early battles, we can go purple, brown as well. Minusing yellow doesn't really matter here too much. And that should be all the change that we need. Anyways, rest of the hellos. Hello, Ron. Hello, Mulu. Hello, Jets. Hello, Cookie. Welcome. Jeddah posted patch notes dropping in the next 24 hours. Oh, that's a good sign. That means almost guaranteed tomorrow. It could still be next week, but if they're dropping patch notes in the next 24 hours, very likely tomorrow. If it does drop during the stream, definitely let me know. We'll go over it. Otherwise, you know, we'll go over it when we're messing with everything in game tomorrow. Because I want to see what the final numbers are and everything. So we will be streaming tomorrow then, of course, if there is a thing. The only problem with that is I am going to the dentist pretty late tomorrow. I'm not getting that much done, but, you know, my mouth might still be in this state where I can't really talk too much. So hopefully that's not the case. It should be fine by then, most likely. It's just being done really late in the day, so I'm not 100% sure. These will only be like a couple hours in between. Why not use Ruby weapon? Main reason I'm not is because it doesn't have purple. Ruby is stronger than Black Manacle. But I want to use purple so that we can immediately convert into the color. Because we have blue to purple convert and yellow to purple. And those are the only two empowers we have access to. Mime stream will be okay. Well, we're definitely going to be streaming tomorrow. How well I could talk, or if we do, is in question. I should be fine, though. Like, not much is getting done at all. Let's see. I will through that. But I'm trying to get all done before the trip. So it doesn't become a problem. Like, I don't want to get, like, half done before, half done after. But yeah, we'll be streaming tomorrow night? Yes, we'll be streaming around this time tomorrow night. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Assuming there's a patch, but it seems very, very likely tomorrow's the patch. I think it's been 100% confirmed yet, but it's very, very likely if they're dropping the patch notes very soon. Which we kind of already knew. It's either going to be this Tuesday or next Tuesday at this point. It's definitely one of them, we just don't know which, but it's probably tomorrow. But it seemed like that in the past before, and then it was like, nope, next week. So no guarantees that it is tomorrow, but decently likely. But yeah, we're gonna have to mess with that a lot when it ends up coming out. Astral Spires is a very, 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 very big update. Like, on the levels of traits being added to the game, kind of big. As far as how much it changed up the game. Though this is the first update ever that it's, like, player side buff. The only player side buff we've really had in the past that, you know, doesn't affect other players is mostly the VP system. Like, you know, the one that where you spend money into. This is the first thing that isn't the VP system that tends to affect, like, only your output while not affecting others. Because when traits came out, obviously that affects both sides. When medals came out, they affect both sides. Like, you know, every kind of feature like that affects both sides. But, Astral Spires only affect yourself. You never have to deal with any enemies' Astral Spire buffs. So every single thing that you get from them is just a pure buff for yourself. And if you're ever really far behind compared to another person, it's not really like that big a deal because, you know, you're not like any extra disadvantage. The only thing I could really see is they're likely to balance a lot of content in the future based on high Astral Spire levels. The main reason being is this is mega power creep. It's probably the biggest power creep we've ever had in one update. In a game that is already broken beyond belief as far as balance is concerned. So it'll be interesting to see what future content might, or even changes to current content might end up occurring due to the power of Astral Spires. Because the only locations they won't work are Guild Wars. They'll still be the same as they are now. And Arena. Which, does anyone play Arena anymore? Other than like early game Souls or something? Jetta was in global chat earlier? Nice. Was she teasing the patch? So hello, Rockhound. Welcome, welcome. Will I buy those stones from the shop? No. I probably won't be buying any extra of them. If they're in some kind of like season pass or something similar, you know, we'll probably get them that way. But I'm not gonna buy like only the stones. Like if there's an offer just to get more of those, no, I'm not gonna be buying them. But you know, if they're a part of like the Legends Reborn, if they put them in there, if they put some in the, you know, the seasonal thing, you know, anything like that, you know, we'll get them that way. But I'm not gonna like outright buy only them. So I'll pretty much get them at free-to-play rate most likely. Unless they start adding them to, you know, campaign and everything. Like a small amount. We won't know that until next campaign. Because even with the patch notes and everything, it probably we wouldn't know for sure until the following campaign actually rolled around. Good order. Alright, Black Manacle, go. At the point where I got a double Black Manacle, which is kind of annoying. Is this an area where we'd still be able to one-shot if we had access to the Evil Scythe? I keep forgetting its name because I never use it. But in about one more week, we will have access to the Evil Scythe, which is kind of unfortunate. That's really good for these early battles. That would be the best weapon to be running right now, but we don't have it, unfortunately. I wonder what keeps creating those. It's that guy. I was like, wait, what's creating all these green and barrier gems each time? It's like, oh yeah, that's him. That would be this guy. He creates 5 poison, 5 decay every cast. It's not a lot, but it gives him some extra turn potential. You completed the Warrens last night? Having your last troop die to their last troop's skull reflect damage? No! Wait, did it still count as a win, though? Because that kind of works out, then. Because I keep getting confused on which one does which. Lammer Stew is the one that does yellow to purple. The other one's blue to purple. It's just when they both have the icon. Like, I know which one does which. I forget which icon does which. Like, I know Lammer Stew does yellow. And the other one does blue. But the problem is I don't know based on the icon which one is which. Which is slightly problematic because the icon's like the main thing that's there. Is the Mythic still in drop table? Yes, it is still in the drop table until this Friday. Alright, let me double check. Yeah, it's still on the drop table till this Friday. The way that every single monthly Mythic works is they go from Friday to Friday. And this one was pretty deep because it came in on the 6th, so it's going to go all the way till the 13th. Friday the 13th. Oh yeah, it's Friday the 13th. Which, isn't there a horror movie coming out that day? I feel like I've been seeing an ad for it, like, every day. I forget what it's called. But I feel like I've seen an ad for it literally every day. Because it's Friday the 13th. But yeah, that's the day that the Mythic will no longer be in drop table. Hello, Defiant. Welcome, welcome. Honestly, I haven't been to a movie theater since the pandemic, I don't believe. Oh, there was one. The Charlie and the Chocolate Factory thing. I ended up seeing that, I think. Well, not the thing, but you know, I think that was after pandemic. But other than that, I don't think I've seen a single movie since after pandemic, other than that. So thank you, Chad, for the continued support. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, we're going to have a lot to go over soon if Astral Spires actually are coming out tomorrow. Like, it's going to be probably one of the biggest changes to the game since traits back in 2.0. Like, it's that big. It's absolutely insane. The only problem is, a lot of it you don't get to mess with immediately. One thing that was nice about trait stones, and one thing that was nice about... what do you call the other thing? Also, thank you again, Clip Bomb. Greatly appreciated. But one thing that was nice about trait stones, and one thing that was nice about metals, is they were both immediately infinitely grindable. One thing I've been kind of not liking as much from some of the more recent big, you know, major patches from, you know, Gems of War, is that a lot of it is very time gated. Like Under Spire, really good. You know, both the updates that they did to it, both releasing it and updating it, both amazing game mode, both times, but really heavily time gated, both on a daily and weekly basis. And you know, things like the Astral Spires, like it's literally just a daily, kind of like this Under Spire thing, but it's just a daily that you'll just like slow trickle in over time. Like there's no way to infinitely grind it, not even at like a slow rate. There's one big issue that a lot of major patches have been having lately. Is most of them have been really time gated. Compared to some other past major updates where, you know, you could just grind it out infinitely if you wanted to. How do I not have alignment here? I'm still going to go for it. Hello, Imperial! Welcome, welcome. But yeah, we finally finished Slay the Spire 2. Speaking of Spire stuff, speaking of Under Spire and Astral Spires, we did finally finish the entirety of Slay the Spire 2, and gosh, did that game go crazy popular for some reason. Especially our first stream. But just the game in general, I think it was the 3rd most played game on Steam at one point. Only beaten out by Counter-Strike 2 and Dota 2. But it was a really fun game. We basically did 100% completion for what the game currently has. There are some other things like pushing difficulty and a couple other things, but as far as like the basic completion of it, we did, you know, all unlocks, everything like that. I don't really plan to do more with it until closer to 1.0 at this point, though. Which I'm not sure what their timeline for that is. Maybe half a year or a year. I'm not sure how long they're staying in beta for. Or early access or whatever they're calling it. But whenever they do, I'll probably come back to the game again. But as far as streaming it, probably won't be touching it again until 1.0. But it was pretty fun. Yeah, Slay the Spire 1 and 2 is really fun. And unlike Darkest Dungeon 2, Slay the Spire 2 did meet like every expectation possible, and some. It was heavily advertised on the front page of Steam, was it? Oddly enough, I never actually go to the front page of Steam. Because I never go to the storefront. I'm only ever in, like, the games tab. So I pretty much never see the front page of Steam. You'd think on Steam you'd see it a lot. But the way that Steam Deck and, you know, how it works on if you're just opening up Steam on PC. If you're just always going to your Steam library, you actually never go to the front page of Steam. It reminds me of how the Nomapaloozas in Gems of War always show up, you know, right on the first screen. So you think you'd always see them. Yet every activity that you would do Nomapaloozas for never go to that timer screen. It reminds me of that. That's how the front page of Steam is. Where it's put in the seemingly most obvious spot, like right on the front page, right when you load in. But if you're never going to the Steam front page, then you never see it. And you could easily navigate to Steam for days, weeks, months without ever going to the front page of Steam. Let's set up Blaze! Welcome, welcome! I've still been enjoying Gems of War quite a bit. Obviously, we do other games from time to time. But I generally don't really like quote-unquote quick games. Like, I always tend to play most of them that I like just kind of whenever. But any games I really like, I pretty much never quit. Obviously, once a game is completed in a sense, like if it's a more single player or something, you know, obviously you don't touch it again. But anything with like infinite replay value, I tend to always like poke here and there. Like even Slay the Spire 1, even though I haven't done a stream for it in like, gosh, years. Like I've still played it some in the background over the last several years. Particularly leading up to Slay the Spire 2. I just don't stream it. Because we've done dozens upon dozens of max difficulty runs for Slay the Spire 2. Even though we've only streamed like a handful of them ever. But I've probably done close to 100 of them, even though I think we streamed like maybe 5. Why do I keep trying to cast this? I'm not sure why I keep clicking him. I keep clicking him as if I have to click him to gain points. Because I should really be prioritizing get our mana back up so we could double one-shot Black Manacle. Yeah, I was going to do Brighter Shore stream today, but they didn't release the update that they were going to do. At this point, next Brighter Shore stream is probably this Wednesday. Because during the day I won't be able to stream due to the dentist appointment. And later in the day, it's probably going to be Gems of War 9.1 Astral Spire patch. So I probably won't be able to do the next Brighter Shore stream until Wednesday. Even though they might be doing the update tomorrow. But it's mostly because both the two main games I play right now are getting an update tomorrow. So they're kind of conflicting with each other, unfortunately. Because originally, it was supposed to be today for Brighter Shores, but it got delayed or something. Why do I have no alignment? I need alignment. Why is this board so hard to get mana off of? We're getting nothing that I need. Luckily, this is the final battle we have to do like this. Because now we could just use our real team. Let me go make sure I go grab the right one, though. We need this. Grab that. Alright, now we can run this mode for real. We're officially at 4 towers, so we'll go paste that in. And now we can just play this game mode normally. Yeah, I did see that they're not doing the weekly leak anymore. But they're mostly just doing that to more consistently release other content. So I was wondering why I didn't have the second Empower here. I just realized it's because this guy's here. We're using him as our other option. Also, this could be really nice. He has Enrage, so we can hit past the 75% reduction brown-blue tower. It's normally the most annoying one because it's really tanky. You even might have noticed when I was casting, I was like trying to prioritize it. But we actually don't really need to bother with that as much this week. This is in first slot, I guess, technically. Because after we get our Enrage, he gets to hit through all traits. Including the 75% reduction on those big towers. Gosh, Wanda Stars, despite how good our weapon is, it feels so bad when it misses. The fact that it can miss that hard. Is that a Bill Warhammer? Welcome, welcome, a Bozeman Wall. Oh, also, I did get the redeem code for this month. I guess we will be handing out tomorrow night. Because tomorrow night's likely the day of the patch, so for the monthly code this month, I'm not sure what it's for. But whatever it is, we'll be handing out probably tomorrow night. Assuming tomorrow night's the patch. Which is pretty likely. You want me to try a game? Would I do it for a donation? I don't know. It depends what the game is. I tend to just play whatever I feel like playing a lot of times, though. And I'm pretty busy pretty much every single week up leading up to when I'm leaving. I almost said moving. Honestly, moving to Greece wouldn't be that bad, though. But no, it's just a really long visit. It's going to feel like I'm moving there with how long it's going to be, though. It's definitely the longest trip I've ever been on. Honestly, it's actually such a long trip. I never even really thought about it this way. It might actually be the more time, like this one trip I'm about to do, in its total, might be more than the total I've ever been away from, like, my house, just in general. Because if I go add up, like, every single few day or week-long trip I've ever been on, it might actually be lower than 3 months total. Because there hasn't been that many. Like, if I count every single trip, my entire adult life, I am pretty sure it is less time than this one trip. Like, this one trip is more total than all the other ones individually are total. I'm pretty sure it is. Because normally when I go see family, not counting that one time I got snowed in for like 3 weeks. If you count that only as 1 week, I'm pretty sure that's the case. If you count that only as 1 week, even though it was 3 weeks or so. But not counting that time I got snowed in for like double, triple the amount of time. Oh, my mom is doing okay? Yeah, she's been recovering pretty well. She's at the point that she can walk. She doesn't need a wheelchair anymore. Her foot is still damaged and everything, but, you know, it's... like, it'll never, like, fully heal, but as far as to the point that it can pretty much fully heal, it's almost there already. But it's been almost half a year now since her injury. He still has to go back for a couple checks with it, but for the most part, it's back to as normal as it could pretty much be. At least their economy's doing way better now, Greece. I know, is the war helping their economy? Because I feel like a lot of areas got hit pretty bad globally off of that. Oh, did the country almost go bankrupt in the past? I didn't realize that. But then again, America's in debt right now, so wouldn't be that abnormal. Because how in debt is America these days? Is it measured in billions or trillions? I don't remember. It's some kind of absurd number. I think it's in trillions. Like, it's a number unfathomably high how much America's in debt right now. And add an extra probably trillion to it from the current war by the end of it. I streamed early today, am I? Oh wait, was there an hour shift and I didn't even realize it? Because all my devices automatically shift. Did the time go forward an hour? Because if it did, then whatever time we streamed today is now the new stream time. If you live in an area that didn't move an hour. Because I still started at 8 today. Which means an hour has shifted. Did that happen last Sunday or something? I might not have noticed because every single day was just me playing Slay the Spire 2 for every free available second I had. So if it happened this weekend, then that's probably why I didn't notice. Because this whole weekend was literally just one big long day of me playing Slay the Spire for like 40 hours. So I kind of didn't notice that the hour shifted. Whoops. I didn't even notice. $47 trillion? 38 trillion? Gosh. Both of those are both basically infinite money. Like, I don't even think we have the first trillion year yet, and the United States is already like 38 plus of them in debt. Plus like an extra trillion every single year, if not more, in interest. Plus whatever more they spend on war or whatever else they do. To waste their money. Even further. I'm so surprised we still have so many battles left. It's not too often that we bought the max tier for invasion. It's the problem with pretty much most debt. Like, of any kind. Like, eventually you get so into debt that you could never actually pay back at all. And then there's, like, an endless debt cycle. It's one of the reasons I've been, like, so cautious my entire life to never get into debt. Because once you get enough in debt, it's basically just eternal debt. Gosh, Bill's doing the whole, the whole entire thing. Oh gosh, that's a lot of words. I'm just skimming it. It has so many words. Cannot focus on both things at once. Hello, Mini. Welcome, welcome, Bozeman Wall. I should have taken a skull there. Oh, never mind. Extra turn coming through. It's a really low extra turn rate. For 1/5/5 gems is really low. But due to how power gems like these spawn into the game, they're even lower than like a normal 5/5. So his extra turn rate is absurdly low, but it's more than 0. So occasionally he is actually extra turning off it, even though I don't really ever expect him to. Like right there, he just extra turned that we already won. Do you think it's wise to buy physical gold? I've personally never invested in physical gold. I've known people who have. My biggest issue with physical gold is it's not as like directly transferable into immediate money. It's also pretty much just as volatile as like, you know, like a stock or something similar. Which I'm also pretty hesitant to put money into. The main thing that gives it its value is its like actual real use applications for it. But the problem is it's also heavily affected by more accumulation of gold. So it's probably very volatile right now, if I had to guess. Yeah, America's tax system is way too favorable to the rich. Mostly because they kind of pretty much own every politician. Well, maybe not every politician, but like 98% of them. On both sides. Like, it's not even just like a one-side issue. It's like, of every politician, like 95 to 98% of them's bought off. Gold or a variety of seeds to plant. I have considered that in the past. Like starting a garden just to save money on produce. It's just a lot of work. I also don't have that much yard to work with. AI will create UBI? I wish. It would be like the one of the few good things AI might eventually lead to. Though it does have a lot of negative consequences, though. One of the only few positives is it might be the only way that we ever get to universal basic income. It does have a, like, absurd amount of downsides, though. So I like how we're only getting the extra turn once we already win. I feel like every time I'm casting him before we win, he's not landing extra turn. Yeah, every single time I do it right at the end of the battle, he's getting it. Very unlucky. Bill Warhammer. That's a funny way of looking at it. I'll try for a skull there. Oh no, we wouldn't have gotten it. Never mind. Good thing we didn't. Hey, 2 more battles left. Also, this is like the perfect setup for these brown towers. Not a single one in first slot, but they're all going to get one-shotted by the insta-kill. So normally you wouldn't be able to one-shot these guys. But because we have Enrage, we could take any skull and just go down. Like so. Which is really nice. That's the main reason why we're using this guy in first slot with his Enrage. The only time it doesn't work if they're in first slot because he doesn't have the ability to build up Enrage. Because you got to kill at least one first. So it doesn't matter how many brown towers there are as long as it's not in first slot. At least for this event week. So it's one of the easiest invasion event weeks we could ever get. Since it's one of the few where you could just one-shot everything. Alright, there we go. Guild's doing nice on contribution. We are tied highest with Herm and Bear. And we're good to go. Also, did I donate gold yet? I feel like I did, but let me double check. Also, if anyone's interested, we do have one spot open. Maybe even a few, but we have at least one. If anyone's interested, we cleared some people after the Guild War. Oh, that's what I thought. I didn't do it. Okay, let me go do that now. I was thinking in like the back of my head, it's like, I haven't contributed gold yet, did I? There we go. Alright, next order of business. Dailies, check. I actually already did those off stream. Campaign, check. Almost. I need 20 more battles. Invasion, we literally just did it. Dungeon, I already bought the Dragonite. We are halfway there. I just need 600 more to finish our weapon. No, we hit a trap. No, we double trapped. It's fine though. New gem? Our gem look fun. Oh, did they already show the next power gem? Is it showing up in game in the power gem thingy? I don't see one here. Unless you showed it somewhere else. Or are you mentioning on like the Spore of the Thread having the troop thingy for it? Because of course we should be getting a new one next season, as every season. Oh, you mean the poison gem? The poison gem's okay. It's nice that it's not too intrusive. There's some builds that it allows you to do. Also allows you to poison your own team, which could be beneficial in order to proc HP damage. Though Bleed Gem can also do that, of course. But the only problem is they kind of did Bleed Gem and Poison Gem back to back, which makes Poison Gem feel a lot weaker. Because in most contexts, the Bleed Gem is just a stronger version of Poison Gem. Only thing nice about the Poison Gem is its consistency, since it guarantees it gets it on everything. Because the Poison Gem was only one at a time, right? I actually forget. Because normally when you do it, you're doing like a billion at once. Let's see. Yeah, it's just a random enemy. That's the only thing that like Poison Gem has over Bleed. Is Bleed Gem is way stronger. But Poison Gem with only one is guaranteed to poison all. So if you want the enemy to deliberately poison you, they will, with only one. And if you want to poison them, you only need to get one. Whereas with something like Bleed Gems, you might need as many as like over 10 Bleed Gems to be able to bleed all enemies if you had something that had a bleed boost ratio like that. Whereas with Poison Gems, you would take just one and you would get the full boost ratio for anything that you would need it for. Even though Bleed Gems do way more damage, Poison Gems are more consistent at getting the effect onto everything. Which is the main difference between them. Oh, so I sure opened some Vault Keys today. Also, Underspire is looking a little rough this week. It's fine if you have the purple dragon. But without the purple dragon, this does not seem like a good week to do Underspire. Oh wow, we got Keg already. It's already giving me free torches. We just started. I'll still do our free battles though. But yeah, if you don't have purple dragon, I would not necessarily advise doing Underspire. It's gonna be pretty slow this week without it. Like, you definitely can do it with, you know, any week's teams, but it's a little bit rough without purple flower dragon. It's already a little rough with it. I was wondering why that died. We get 4 life still whenever we take a purple. And these things have so little HP that we're actually killing with it. Oh, nice. Shiny tokens. Huge, huge, huge. Oh, yeah. Randomly stopping talking. Honestly, my voice is still a little bit shot from the 40 hours of Slay the Spire 2. We did so much reading, particularly the first 2 days. I don't think my voice is still fully back from it yet. So I'm not sure why I just gave him the brown there. I keep thinking this guy does purple convert for some reason. Like, I know he converts to purple, but I mean yellow to purple, I mean. That's green to purple. I keep thinking it's Lamish too, because we were just using her for a while. So I'm not sure this is the correct path. They're both the same level range, so I'm pretty sure we're heading to dead end right now. But we're in too deep to back off now, so we gotta go all the way. Yeah, this is double dead end. Yep, saw that coming. Which means the other way is also dead end. Alright, final battle for Underspire for now. They just got to go clear up PvP. Oh yeah, we did end up getting it earlier. I think we got second place for the PvP thingy. So we end up getting like 80 gold marks. So let's go cash those in for a bunch of deep books. Let's see if I can still see it on mail. We should still be able to see it. I just clicked claimed all and I wasn't even paying attention when I was doing it earlier. But we should have... There it is. We got second place off stream last week for the PvP thingy. I probably could have grinded for first as well, but we still did Slay the Spire 2 for most of the day, so I wasn't able to. But yeah, we went for second at least. I had enough time off stream to go for second. So we got 80 gold marks. Claim all of this, and let's go and Head over to here, head over to, not there. Head over to PvP, and let's go open up our deed books, as we should have a whole set of them to go and open up if I could ever click on the right location. Yep, perfect. Let's go open them up. Let's see if we get lucky here. 1, purple. I don't need purple as much these days. We're not as excited for purple. We want to see red. Feels weird not being excited about double purple, though. We still need purple, but it's not for Magic Kingdoms anymore, so the value of purple is the same as any other color now. It feels really weird not being excited about purple, though. Because normally double purple would be amazingly good, but I have all Magic Kingdoms upgraded now, so now it's just average. Like, it's not bad, but it's not the better one we want to be seeing right now. Mostly because red is the furthest behind as far as how many we end up needing. And it gives an attack stat compared to every other kingdom being HP and armor at this point, since we have all magic. And when it comes to +1s, obviously magic is the most important. But the next most important is then attack. As attack is generally harder to get as well. Not that attack is like a particularly over-the-top kind of stat. But it has a lot of potential to get better with Astral Spires in the future. Especially with the extra turn on Skull Astral Spire. Where even 3 skulls can give you extra turn right now. It'll be interesting to see exactly how that will end up panning out in the future. What we need most is what we don't have. It happened to us with Silent Dragon for the longest time. Though it is a pretty niche option regardless, though. I'm actually surprised I didn't see it once all last Guild War. Because I believe that was the first Guild War where we could have seen it. And we didn't end up seeing it at all. But there is very few locations you can use it in Guild War Defend. You don't use it for Dragon and, what, yellow purple? That's a third color too, but I don't think anyone ever sets brown. Alright, we did that. Now we gotta do the 3 central battles and then do our dragon battles. I guess we'll do 3 central first since we're already here. And after the 3 central, we'll go do the 5 dragon, or technically the 6 dragon battles then. I don't even think we're gonna use Glacia at that point. The 4x dragon team, I think, is stronger than putting a Glacia on it. It's one of the few times where even though we have a nearly max Glacia, we're running the dragons would just be stronger. Like, the category is stronger than the immortal. Which you'd have to be a very, very strong category for that ever to be the case. But it is one of the few. The other one, I guess, is Goblin. Dragon, Goblin, Elemental, and maybe Fae. Or a couple of the categories where running no Immortal is actually stronger than running Immortal. Unless the Immortal happens to also be in the category. Because obviously there's a Goblin that is now an Immortal, but it might not be the same location necessarily. Alright, that was all the battles we needed, right? Yeah, we're good to go. Alright, now we just gotta do our dragon battles, 6 of them. And whatever spare time we have, I guess we'll just open a bunch of Volkies. Get a little sneak peek of what we're gonna get this weekend. What am I doing here? I need Flower, I need Essentia, I need whatever that other dragon's called, I always forget its name. That one. And I need, I guess it's Hero. Because I believe I have a Dispel on my Dragon Guard. And the main reason we do that is so I can run it in a team like this. Oh, no, I wanted. What am I doing? Troops. No, Hero, Wand. That should be everything we need. And then just change banner to yellow, blue. Seems good enough. Alright, there we go. And now we just want to start as the Flower Dragon, like pretty much any Flower Dragon team. It's just our mana accumulator's a little bit different. But otherwise, it's just a standard Dragon team. Or standard Flower Dragon team, I mean. The only thing different is we're using a different mana accumulation method. Instead of like double Takshaka, double Pharaoh, something else. It's Essentia for 50% mana start into the brown to yellow dragon. The nice thing about him is he actually gets quite a bit more value than a normal one power. Because he creates dragon gems. He even has a higher mana cost, but of course with a power that doesn't matter. But those dragon gems give you extra explodes. So if you only have to take like a pair of 3 yellows, you can actually still get full mana off of it. Just because they're exploding so much of the board. Like right here, for example. Like you still get so much value from the explodes that it kind of ends up working out. Oh, this guy's the 100% revive. I almost wanted to skip this battle because this battle might actually take longer than the middle one. I have no stun for the Dragon Guard. So he's gonna run away. Or not run away, but, you know, revive like that. Which is not ideal. I said, hello, Isabel. Welcome, welcome. I've always been well. Yeah, I still can't believe how quickly this year's been going by. It's almost already Easter. It's almost already the very long trip I'll be going on. Like, before you know it, they're both going to be here. Like, it definitely doesn't feel like it's already March. Can you please stop getting barrier? This thing's going to be immortal at this rate. There we go, finally. You're picking up dinner? Nice. What do you end up going for? Alright. Oh, we got that. We got that. Good to go. Alright, that's everything for PvP, correct? Alright, with the rest of the time, let's go send 1 EXP booster at, because I gotta use this today. Let me go send 1 EXP booster, and we're gonna spend that entire 15 minutes doing Volkies. We won't be able to finish all of them in 15 minutes, but, you know, we'll get a good chunk of them in there. But, yeah, we're going to use some of our Vault Keys from earlier. We still never finished them all between the 2 Vault Event weekends. And since we have a nice, fresh Vault Event weekend this weekend, good time to go and start finishing them off. So I'll run this for the rest of the time, then. See if we get anything good from Vault Keys. And then restock our supplies this weekend. You end up picking up Burger King? Nice. It's kind of funny. I actually had McDonald's today for the first time in like a month or 2. And the last time I went was just for breakfast. Because I do like their hot cake deluxe breakfast thing. Also, I need to stop spam clicking. This menu is still bugged. I really hope that gets fixed in next patch. You can still spam click out of that screen. It's been the case for like 2 or 3 years now, ever since they changed that interface. I really hope next patch fixes that. I think it's a uniquely PC issue. But you might be able to do it on mobile if you keep like tapping like crazy or something. Whenever you're like click spamming there, it can end up skipping past the screen and bring you all the way back to the main menu. Even though you're clicking at the move forward area. It's one of the few interfaces in the game that breaks like crazy when you spam click. Ooh, a lesser glory, like it. Oh yeah, doesn't Burger King have that new burger they've been promoting? I haven't been keeping up with too much fast food stuff lately. was because I've been still trying to cut it again. I'm down to about like once a month. Roughly. Still been pretty good about cutting soda though. I haven't had soda since like January. Oh no, actually I had it for the Super Bowl. So since February was the last time. I ended up having a Dr. Pepper for the pizza on the Super Bowl. So yeah, I haven't had a single soda since Super Bowl. Been trying to stick to mostly water and occasionally teas. So our stock of Wendy's napkins is strong. Actually, it is. Just like my supply of grocery bags are like nearly endless. Even though I haven't been to Wendy's for over a year. I think the last time I went there was like maybe last summer. So it's been a solid 9 months, if not longer. But I actually still have Wendy's napkins left over. I have a whole drawer that's basically just napkins, plastic forks, and other stuff like that. I have not ran out yet. Similarly, I have a cabinet filled with like a couple hundred grocery bags. Of Spire, just trash bags, basically. For all the smaller garbage cans. But yes, the supplies are still going strong. But it's mostly because most of the time I'm using like normal actual napkins. Or not napkins, what would we even call them? Paper towels. Because I never buy napkins. Like if I need napkins, it's gonna get stocked from a fast food joint. Like I literally never buy napkins. It's just paper towels. Also, where am I going? I'm trying to go to Vault Keys. I do buy trash bags, but whenever I can for the smaller ones, I try to use just grocery bags a lot of times. Obviously, the bigger bags have to be, actual sturdy ones though. But for basic, like the bathroom trash bag, the room one, stuff like that. Like, those can easily be grocery bags. And just get infinite of them from grocery places. It doesn't save that much money, but if you're already getting them anyways, you might as well save them for it. Reuse it at least one additional time before throwing it all out. Alright, this menu's starting to get annoying. I'm hating how much this is knocking us out. Like, every single minute on average. Like, we've been knocked out over 5 times. It's been 5 minutes. Like, every single minute, it's knocking me out. A few purple deep books from, hating to see purples. Oh no, you're almost done with them as well? Or, actually, that's a good thing, but... Yeah, it does feel bad when purples aren't needed anymore. It's such a core part of the game for so long. And you get to the point where, like, purples don't matter. It's like, wait, that's not how they work. Purples are supposed to be the best one. And then you don't need them anymore. It's like, oh no, wait, purples aren't good anymore. Feels really weird. Because they go from being, like, the most important resource in the game to, like, not at all. Diamonds are really much like that. Diamonds are one of those resources that you care about so much. But then the second you craft every mythic, it's like, wait, what are diamonds used for? Is there really nothing else to spend them on? Because by that point, you'd likely have, like, every weapon and everything else likely. Or, be pretty close, if not already there. So you eventually reach a point on diamonds as well, where they're, like, the most important resource in the game. But then you eventually reach the point that you have every mythic, and then it's like, wait, there's nothing else to spend these on. That's worth actually spending them on. Purple deed books are very similar, or purple deeds in general. They're, like, the most important resource in the entire game until they're not. Quite a few handful of resources are like that in the game. Because there's no sync for them after the really, really important use cases. Like, after you've depleted all their important use cases, despite them being absurdly powerful in what they do, they kind of become useless after. We're pretty close to it. Like, yes, purple deed books still upgrade places, but, you know, it's not any better than any other deed book. And in the case of diamonds, there are things that you can do with diamonds that aren't, like, completely awful. Like, I'm not talking about converting them into souls, but, you know, I mean, like, getting a second or third copy of some mythic, stuff like that. But it's nowhere near as powerful as, you know, the first copy that you get of every mythic. Like, trying to get 2 to 3 of all the really useful mythics doesn't quite feel the same as, you know, getting 1 of each. Get 4 of all Troop Club. I accidentally got, not sure how many of you saw the video earlier today where we go over the weekly video thing. But during the weekly video, I accidentally got my 9th Anu. I found that really funny. I was like, wait, do I have 3 or 4? And then I checked, it's like, oh. But, yeah, I have 9 Anus. I got the 9th one on the video earlier today. I was opening 50 event keys while talking about event keys. And then we accidentally pulled them. Oh, that'd have been funny if we pulled them again. But yeah, we accidentally pulled them earlier. When we were doing the video going over event keys. I was trying to pull the legend because it's making some point about it. Like, I think Sir Quentin Hadley or something. You know, the 50% Knight Legend, because he's the only good thing in the whole drop table. But, yeah, I accidentally pulled the Mythic the 9th time already. Only reason we have so many copies, he's a relatively early Mythic. Generally, any of the first, like, 30-ish Mythics we have a lot of copies of. Like, the first 30, 40-ish or so. Mostly because there were so few Mythics at the time. Kind of like right now, how the first, like, 10-ish Immortals are really well upgraded. Because they were the first. You know, compared to, like, the 40th Immortal, that's not going to be anywhere near as upgraded as them. But it's the same thing with, like, the first, like, few dozen Mythics. I have, like, 1.5 billion copies of all of them just because they've been out for so long. Because the drop table used to be way more condensed on them. But now, you know, there's over 100 Mythics. Which is over 200? I'm not even sure the number these days. It's absurdly high. Actually, what's your troop number coming up to? Because we're getting really close to 2,000 troops. We're still like a year away, but I'm pretty sure we're actually getting pretty close to it. We're at 1744. But yeah, we're only, we're less than 1 year away from 2,000 troops. Sometime next year, we will hit 2,000. Also, I like how our favorite troop is finally Takshaka now. That feels weird to see, just because Inferno King was so good for so long. But now Takshaka has been so good for so long. So it has finally overtaken it about a year ago. But we've been using Takshaka so much that it has overtaken our most used troop ever. Which means we had to have used it over 10,000 times, if not more. Which sounds like a lot, but you do have to keep in mind every battle takes like under a minute generally, on average. Maybe not every battle, but you know, most of the areas where you would be using a Takshaka tend to end in under a minute. Because we had several thousand wins on Inferno King. Like, I want to say like 8, 9, 10,000, somewhere around there. Like 8 or 9,000, I think. So for Takshaka to have overtaken it means we've already be over 10,000 Takshaka wins then. Or Takshaka battles. Though realistically, most of those would have been win. Some of them might not have been, but, you know, most Takshaka battles tend to be win. There's very few locations where you would use Takshaka, but also simultaneously lose. Just because it's so good at winning. It can basically solo an entire team if you need to. Of course, the enemies can also solo you if it goes bad enough. But worst case scenario, one single Takshaka can win it almost any battle. Like, not even counting the rest of your team, just the Takshaka alone can make the comeback. Which is one thing I've always found kind of insane about it. It's used like a support troop mana accumulator. Yet it's so strong, it alone can solo an entire team. Despite the fact that it's used mostly for its utility. Like, imagine if Leprechaun had a way to just instantly win a battle. Like, it's kind of like that. Like, Leprechaun, you know, being a great mana accumulation utility, but obviously cannot win a battle on its own. But Takshaka just does both. You use it for its mana accumulation utility, but it can also just solo a whole fight. if you needed it to. It's one of the few troops that's ever come out in this game that I'm very surprised they haven't toned down. There's a couple in that category. Stellarix, Flower Dragon, Wand of Stars, Takshaka. Honestly, even Ironhawk. I'm glad they didn't nerf Ironhawk, but I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't. And maybe a few others I'm forgetting right now. But there's about 10-ish, almost like a dozen troops that have come out. I'm very surprised that at no point they ever nerfed them. In the case of Ironhawk, I'm really glad they didn't. But I'm still surprised they never did nerf Ironhawk. The only reason I can think of is because it encourages people to get 2 to 3 of the same mythic. So that might encourage people to try to buy them or, you know, do something else with it or something. To try to get it more of them. It is one of the only few mythics in the game where getting 3 of them is actually pretty high priority due to Vault Event weekends. And even though it's really good at farming Vault Event weekends, I think how good it is at Vault Event weekend is outweighed by people's need to try to get it. So I might actually make extra money from people trying to do that because I'm pretty sure you can spend $50 to get it at some point. As well as, you know, just spending resources to try to get it that otherwise would go to other things. It's the only reason I can think of why they never nerfed Ironhawk. Then the fact that it's actually bad on a team. Like, an actual Ironhawk team is really weak. But it's mostly because they nerfed its ability before it came out. Originally, it was going to do 20 Doom Skulls for 100 damage. I believe it only does 12 now for 60. It was originally going to do way more damage, but they nerfed it right before its release. It was one of those that got changed last minute. The thing they didn't quite realize, though, is it wasn't the ability that was overpowered. It was the trait that was overpowered. Like, they nerfed the ability by, like, 40 damage. But then kept the trait exactly as is. Which is also very funny. Because they nerfed the weaker aspect of the troop, not the stronger aspect. But it was nerfed before it ever came out, so it never actually affected the live game. Like, in the live game, it's never been nerfed. But before it came out, the skull damage was nerfed by 40 per cast. Ooh, nice! Our first and only really good loot all night. The Major Orb of Glory. Love to see it. Alright, looks like we can get 5 more keys in. California has a 0 plastic bag law. I think New Jersey had it a little bit too. This area would definitely never impose something like that, though. Because I know New Jersey, when I was there a couple times, had a paper straw law. And I'm pretty sure they had a paper bag one as well. Or, you know, where you can't use plastic bags. Yeah, plastic bags are pretty bad for the environment. But, you know, some grocery stores only use it. Like, the grocery store closest to my house only uses those. There are some Aldis around, and those have those other special bag thingies. So they don't have to use the plastic. The problem is there's not really any nearby. Alright, there we go. And that gets us down to a solid 50. But anyways, guys, I think that might wrap it up for here. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, I believe our game plan is, assuming patch is tomorrow night. Actually, let me go check the patch notes real quick. Let's see if they posted them yet. Oh, did we get the weapon? Is the weapon any good? Create 10 poison gems. No, it doesn't use green. If this had green into another color, this would not be horrific. Then inflict 1 to 2 random stats effects on all enemies. Yeah, this weapon would be good. Let me see if it has auto extra turn. It likely doesn't. But, if this weapon used green, it would be usable. But, oh, it gets a random stats effect on the first enemy too, and mana drain. Yeah, this weapon would be amazing. Or maybe not amazing, but it would be usable if one of these 2 colors was green. The fact that neither of these 2 colors are green when it creates green is the main thing holding it back. Because not only does it get 1 to 2 random stats effect on all enemies, but it gets an additional stats effect on the first enemy, and mana drain on them, and curse on them, so you can actually blend those effects. And it'll even some elimination stats, so that one's the least relevant one there. But all 3 of these effects, combined with that, is really good. The problem is, it's not feeding back into itself. You have to feed into something else on your team in order to feed to it. There's a combination that does kind of work with that, though. Truffle and Beatrix. So if you really wanted to use this with, like, Truffle or Beatrix, I guess you can. But those teams generally want to have other options there other than, you know, not this. But, yeah, I guess if you were using Truffle or Beatrix, that'd be, like, one of the few instances where it'd be usable. No patch notes yet? Oh, I'm still going to check just in case. Come on, refresh. Oh, no, that's the wrong page. Come on, patch notes, patch notes. Patch notes, please. No, we only have 9.0. And it's probably not on the forum. Oh, update 9.1? What is this? Oh, this isn't an official post. Never mind. This is just someone asking when it's going to be. Boo. I thought that was an official post for a second. Update 9.1. No, that's just someone asking when it is. No, unfortunate. Yeah, no patch notes yet. No patch notes. Well, we'll go over it tomorrow night and do a video on it on Wednesday, assuming it's coming out tomorrow night. And we'll go from there. Anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful week. And, yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone! And thanks for watching.